The following has been brought to you by RockSolidFanClub.ca.
September 14th,
Mhm.
we have UFC Noche, otherwise known as UFC from the Sphere, otherwise known as Bradie's 40th birthday. I'm getting fucking spoiled that weekend because we got PBC that night too.
It is
with Canelo.
absolutely unreal. It's UFC 306.
Life owes me
306
because a couple of years ago it killed Norm Macdonald on my fucking birthday. So this is karma coming back around. Life's trying to, give me something good because it killed Norm on me, the bastards.
Wow. All right. Shout out Norm Macdonald.
Always. You're the type of dude that seems like you don't own a doghouse.
I don't, because my dogs sleep in my bedroom. And I know the joke. Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it right out the gate.
Awesome. That was fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't own a doghouse. Yes. You must be one of them. Okay, so what were you saying?
I'm saying let's do a little bit of a breakdown here, shall we? On some of the fights here and the ones that we want to speak of a little bit. On the main card, starting off, like, this is all flyweight, lightweight, featherweight, women's flyweight, and bantamweight. This is going to be fast. This is going to be furious. This is going to be something that you can only fit on half of a building, apparently, because that's how the Sphere is freaking built.
It's so crazy. I don't know how they're going to do this.
It's going to look so great, and I want to see what they do to utilize the inside. All of those screens that you see on the outside are also on the inside. So I think this is going to be fantastic for these replays.
To quote Dana, but paraphrasing at the same time, he goes, you seen what happened with the NHL over at the draft? He goes, we're going to make that look like fucking Sesame Street. You just wait. He goes, I've spent so much money on the presentation for this.
Oh, I thought that meant for insider trading. So starting off this entire thing, we've got a flyweight fight with Ronaldo Rodriguez and Ode Osborne.
Yeah.
Dude, these two dudes are going to, do not blink on this fight. Do not blink. If there's one thing that we know about watching Ode Osborne is he's quick and he's got a ton of power in the flyweight division. There's no doubt about it.
Combos for days.
Daniel Zellhuber and Esteban Ribovic, however you pronounce it. I mean, that's going to be a fight that, again, at lightweight, you're looking at a couple of guys that are looking to get close, get a sniff of the rankings.
That's a parlay killer. Don't even bet on it.
Don't. Leave it alone. Leave it alone and just enjoy it. But then we've got our feature, our co-main, and our main. And your feature bout is a featherweight bout that was supposed to happen already. And I'm talking about Diego Lopez and Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega had to pull out of it last time because, whatever reasons, got sick.
It's finally
and then we
happening.
This was the night that we saw Diego Lopez go from, first I'm fighting at 145 pounds, and then I'm fighting at 155 pounds, and then I'm fighting for the BMF belt, and then I'm fighting for the women's flyweight title, and then I'm fighting Francis Ngannou is coming back, and George St. Pierre, and it's a big gauntlet, and then finally I'm settling in at 170 pounds on a guy that just came over from 4 hours notice.
If Diego wins this fight in dominating fashion, we are witnessing the shooting star being born. This isn't just he's had a lot of momentum behind him, and a lot of people are digging him. And if you just look at things like collectibles and cards, Diego's prices are through the roof right now because people know you're watching something special. So if he runs through Ortega, which I hope he doesn't, I hope this is an even fight. But if he runs through Ortega, I don't know what the sky's the limit for this kid.
Yeah, it's unbelievable if you think about it at featherweight, but look at who's at the top of that division right now. You're talking about Alexander Volkanovski. You're talking about Max Holloway. Brian Ortega is still number 3 in that division. Yair Rodriguez, and topping the whole thing off is Ilia Topuria, who, looks very unbeatable right now.
I've been saying this since we started doing the pre-punch parlay a year ago and all this Wayne Brothers stuff and the Law Live Audio Wrestling. Ilia Topuria is not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And so that's a really tough division for him to have to fucking maneuver his way through. But Diego Lopez is a guy who's moving up those rankings. right?
I'm so stoked for that fight.
Absolutely. Then we've got hopefully what clears up a clear and present log jam at the top of the women's flyweight division. And the only reason I say that, Bradie, is because this is a fight that we've seen twice already with Alexa
Okay.
Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. And
Yes.
then throw on top of that, they were both coaches, just recently on the Ultimate Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Grasso, in the first one, we saw how she gets the choke and ends up winning that fight. We saw how they go the distance and ended up in a draw in the second fight. So this has to be the one that settles this whole thing, right? So that we can move on inside of that division. Am I right?
Yeah, well, and I honestly think Alexa, I don't want to say got lucky, but Valentina didn't seem like herself the past 2 fights with Alexa Grasso.
Sure.
So is this the end of Valentina, or are we going to see a dominant return of the Bullet?
Or is it
I think the
styles?
latter.
Is it
I think
styles? You know what I
no,
mean? And we've said this many, many times before
it's
that
not.
stylistically, sometimes things happen.
No,
I'll point it out. Uriah Faber can't beat, Mike Brown.
Uriah Faber couldn't beat Dom either.
Style, but he would motor through everybody else.
Yeah, that's a style fight. I don't think this is a style issue. I think this is just Valentina. I think either she had 2 bad nights in a row, which is just a coincidence, or that's the end of Bullet. She had a very long career proving herself as probably one of the most dominant champions of all time outside of Amanda Nunes. And I do think that if she pulls this off on September 14th, she may go in that category as being the best of all time.
Well, if she wins this, it's going to be pretty thin pickings, I think. If Alexa Grasso wins this fight, it's going to be thin pickings as to what really happens in this division. I think if Shevchenko wins, I think we're going to end up having to see another fight with Alexa Grasso because they would be one each and a tie. And we need to see it. So that really logs everybody up. Your Aaron Blanchfields, your Macy Barbers, Rose, you know what I mean? Jessica Andrade, Manon Fiorot. The entire division is sitting there on hold, waiting for these two to figure this whole thing out. Now, let's say that Alexa Grasso wins and this whole, the trilogy or quadrilogy or whatever you call it is done, right? There's not a lot on the bone outside of what? An Alexa Grasso, Aaron Blanchfield?
No, it's Manon.
That's not
It's
drawing.
Manon Finor. That's the fight.
Okay. But is
You do it in
anybody
France.
is that's the only place you do it because I don't think that's drawing either. Then you got to go all the way down to your number 4s and 5s, which is your Macy Barbers and your Rose Namajunas. Now, listen, I would love personally to see a fight with Alexa Grasso and Rose Namajunas. Absolutely, all day long.
That's done. Rose is done.
I would love to see a fight between Macy Barber and Alexa Grasso as well, because I would love to see Alexa Grasso school Macy Barber in a little bit of humility, the same way that Roxy did. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, now moving on to our main event.
Yeah, the absolute main event, Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili. Now, before we get into it, obviously the latest news happening, if you haven't paid attention yet, or you've seen it, Merab put out a picture of himself with a massive cut. And then recently has put out a picture or a video or something
of him cutting it.
Yeah, with like lawn shears or a weed whacker or some craziness.
He's using like pinking shears to take out fucking stitches in his eyebrow. And I think he's just trolling Dana or something, because Merab is a fucking monster of a human. He's going in there with another monster of a human, a very skilled technical monster at that.
Yeah.
I don't like this fight for Sean O'Malley.
I absolutely do like this fight for Sean O'Malley. I think that Merab is going to try to come at him the same exact way that Aljo did. And because Merab knows that if he gets put out on an island, Sean O'Malley will pick him apart all day long. Sean O'Malley's defensive wrestling has to be on point with this, and he has to be able to stop Merab with a couple of good leg kicks right out the gate to stop those shots, because Merab's going to try to drive him up against the fence, right? He's going to throw a couple of overhands to try to drive him up against the fence. Once he gets him up against the fence, he's going to try to take him down and go to work. That's what he does, right? The thing is Sean O'Malley's footwork is on point, and we saw what happened with Aljo about how he can just slip off the center line and smash it right in your jawbone.
So instead of just asking you for a winner and how, I'm going to say you're a betting man. And what are you going to place in terms of a bet? Fuck the odds. What in your heart is going to happen here?
I don't even know what the odds are on this one, but I'm taking Sean O'Malley by knockout.
Okay.
Right. And then because I really want to see Sean O'Malley go through another wrestler, and that wrestler happens to be the number 2 guy in that division who has the last name Nurmagomedov. Because I think that is the money fight that can finally solidify Sean O'Malley as a champion that people will actually take seriously. Because of all of his YouTube stuff and his antics and his social media stuff and his joking around, which I find hilarious.
It's amazing.
But it makes him come across as immature to a lot of people, I'm sure. And that's not what they're looking at. 100%. I agree.
Fuck them. Who cares? Enjoy yourself.
But you have to be able to prove them wrong. You have to be able to prove them wrong. And I think that this is the way that he does it, because everybody's like, oh, look, he broke his ankle, blah, 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 and he's out. No. Oh, look, he doesn't want to wrestle. No, he's sparking dudes, sparking them.
As much as I do not like this fight for Sean O'Malley, I have never voted against Sean, and I never will. So I am taking Sean O'Malley by TKO at some point throughout this fight. I do agree with you. But, Chris, do you agree? This has been a fantastic episode of The Law Live Audio Wrestling.
I will agree that it has been the best episode that we have done all day.
Thanks for watching that video. If you like that video and you want to see some other stuff, check out our catalog here on YouTube, or you can find us on any podcast provider anywhere in the world.
Yep.
SportCars.com, the best in Canada. NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, Pokemon, UFC, WWE. TotalSportCards.com, the hobby's best friends. That's TotalSportCards.com.
RockSolidFanClub.ca gives you full access to Canada's leader in professional wrestling, featuring legends like Mick Foley, modern megastars such as Cody Deaner, and future sensations like Tyler Turva. RockSolidFanClub.ca offers exclusive series, podcasts, live streams, specials, and full events, all for less than $9 a month. Sign up today at RockSolidFanClub.ca, where real fans get it.